iMessage funnels book more appointments than VSL funnels. And the show rates on those appointments is 80% from cold traffic for an iMessage funnel versus 50% for a VSL funnel. I've got the data to prove it. I'm going to walk you through exactly why. My name is Sam Queen. I serve as the Chief Revenue Officer of Sendblue, and we help over 1,000 businesses a month text over 250,000 leads per month. I personally spend over $10,000 a day on ads to make it all happen. A VSL funnel runs opt-in, video, a button pop, a self-service book a call page with maybe an application. And nowhere in that flow is a conversation actually being started with the lead. You collect their info, but you're reliant on them to perform every next action in your funnel. You never even get a chance to say hi. iMessage funnels outperform that flow because of these three things. Number one, response rates. Conversions happen in conversations. iMessage gets 75 to 80% response rates versus half of that, 30 or 40% on SMS. More people responding means more people in conversations, and more conversations with your leads means more booked appointments. Number two, text triaging. Instead of a self-serve application that people either skip or rely on, you're going to be vetting your leads inside of real conversation with them. Your workflow or your sales rep can qualify that lead before they ever hit the calendar. Better qualified appointments and higher show rates. Number three, trust and friction. A blue iMessage with typing indicators, voice messages, and real conversations builds more trust than any landing page could. And in this process, you're putting in more friction between your offer and the lead. But that's good friction. They've answered, they've responded, they've raised their hand a little higher and higher with every single message that they send to you. And by the time they book a call, they actually have skin in the game. And that's why these leads will show up at 80%. In this video, I'm going to break down all three of these things. I'm going to show you the build, and then I'm going to show you how to get started. Let's get into it. Let's look at these two funnels side by side. For a VSL funnel, let me lay out a picture of what you guys are probably doing right now so we know we're operating from the same page. You run an ad, someone clicks, they land on a page, there's a VSL playing, maybe 2 minutes in, you have a button pop up for them to go to the next step. They either book a call or fill out an application. Either way, the flow is opt in, watch a video, book a call, and answer some questions. And the problem with that flow is nowhere in that flow did you even get a chance to talk to your lead. This connection with a business is what people want in 2026. You collect their info and then you are entirely reliant on them to perform every next action in your funnel. Watch a video, click a button, fill out the application, pick a time. You never get a chance to say hi. You never get a chance to ask a question. You never get a chance to start a relationship. It's an opt-in, a one-way video, and then fingers crossed that they make it through every step on their own. As you know, most of them won't make it through. They'll bounce within the first 2 minutes of your VSL. They get distracted, they close the tab, and you're going to be chasing them with email sequences. Maybe some retargeting ads, or maybe some green SMS that goes right to their junk folder. The entire funnel is a one-shot, one-direction experience where the lead is a passive viewer, and you're hoping they take an action on their own. You never once got a chance to talk to them. And even the ones who do book a call are only going to show up at a rate of about 50% if they're coming from cold traffic. And that's because there was no conversation and there was no human touch between the opt-in and the phone call. They watched the video, clicked a button, picked a time, and then life happened and they forgot. Now here's the other side, the iMessage funnel, what you're inside of right now watching this video. I ran the same ad, got the same clicks, but instead of sending you to a landing page, I sent you to an on-platform lead form. On-platform on Meta, Facebook, TikTok. You gave me your name and your phone with just a couple clicks, and minutes later I sent you a text. The second you submitted your lead, you were enrolled in a workflow inside of Sendblue. And just like that, you got a text that looks like a real person is trying to communicate with you. That first text was really simple. Hey, contact name. It's Sam with Sendblue, send. Saw you wanted to watch our iMessage funnels training. Can I send you the link to watch it here? You replied. You got the link. You're watching the video. I sent the same video that I would put into a VSL funnel, but you and me, we're already talking. Same video, same pitch, but now you asked for it. You're watching it not because you opted in, but because a real person sent it to you. Somewhere along the way of you watching this video, I'm going to ask you what you thought of the video. I'm going to keep following up with you in this funnel. What did you think? Do you have any questions? And from there, we're going to keep qualifying you over text message before giving you the opportunity to book a call. If you are a fit, we'll send you the link. Then you'll book. And because you've been in a real conversation with us the entire time, leads from this traffic source are going to show up at a rate of 80%. Same ad, same VSL, same offer, different delivery, wildly different results. Conversions happen in conversations, not in broadcasts, not in one-way videos, not in emails that nobody opens. Conversations. A VSL is a monologue. It's one directional. You hope the lead watches it and you hope they take the next action. iMessage funnels get a conversation going from the very first touch, and you know how important speed to lead is. The lead gets a text, they respond, now you're talking. And now everything that follows that response, the VSL, the qualification, the booking, it happens inside of the conversation. Your lead is now an active participant in your funnel instead of a passive viewer of your content. Now let's look into the data and why iMessage is the channel to make this happen. I've got the data across tens of millions of messages sent through our platform. When you send an iMessage, your response rate's going to be somewhere around 70 to 85%. When you send an SMS, it's going to be about half of that, somewhere between 30 and 40%. Same message, same copy, same leads, different color bubble, completely different result. The blue iMessage bubble is a 2 to 3 times multiplier on your conversation rate, and that's across every industry and every account. And it's really not that hard to understand why. Apple has about 58% of the US market, and if you sell a higher ticket product for your business, that's probably closer to about 80% of your leads that are going to have an iPhone instead of having an Android. No brokies here. The blue bubble is not just a color in the United States, it's culture. On top of that, 2/3 of internet traffic is all from your mobile device. 98% of traffic that Meta gets is coming from a mobile device. Your leads are on their phone, and if you're not meeting them in the Messages app where they probably spend 5 hours a day with their screen time, then you're playing a different game with your leads than the game they're in right now. When you send a green SMS through your CRM, it has that reply stop language at the bottom. It gets filtered into your unknown senders, and it's going to get buried with all the other spam and political campaigns and USPS notifications that you're getting. Your outreach might as well not exist because you look like a bot. iMessage bypasses all of that. Like making FaceTime audio calls, you never show up as spam likely. There's no carrier filtering, there's no A2P registration required, and your message has a much higher probability at landing in their main inbox now. And now every time you send a text, it looks like a text from a friend, not a text from a business or a bot. Think about what can happen to how many appointments you book if your response rate could double. Simple math. In an iMessage funnel, if they respond to the first text, you're in a conversation, you can deliver the VSL, you can ask questions, you can qualify the lead, you can send a booking link. All of that can be done inside of the same thread. You're going to be taking that burden off of the lead themselves in the funnel and putting it onto your reps to do the qualifying for your business. That's going to get you more of the customers that you want to get. I talked to a business last week running an evergreen VSL funnel. Get about 300 to 400 bookings per week, about $5,000 a day on ad spend. And they're looking at close to an industry average of about a 45% show up rate. And the problem is exactly what I've already outlined in this video. Their speed to lead sucks. They're not getting in conversations with their leads before their appointments. Between the opt-in and the showed call, a couple email confirmation sequences go off, and they end up never showing. With an iMessage funnel, you can be in conversation within seconds. Speed to lead is the biggest, best lever you can pull within sales. And with iMessage, you can pull it faster than any other channel. Voice messages, photos, videos, contact cards. These make you look like a real person because you are a real person. They hear your voice. It sounds like you. It looks like you took the time to personally send it to them. You get a response to your outreach, and conversions happen in conversations. And iMessage is by far the best channel to start a conversation with your leads. Text triaging will qualify better than any application can. Not only are you verifying the person that is a lead is a real person that will talk to you, but in a VSL funnel, if you have that qualification step, it's usually like a self-service qualification application. They fill out a form, revenue, biggest obstacle, pain points. They hit submit, they get a Calendly link, they choose a time, they book a call. But here's what happens with those applications. People lie. You know that. They exaggerate. They put whatever they can to just get through the funnel, to get to the next stage, to book a call that they may or may not show up for. Or they just skip it entirely and exit the funnel. Your sales team's going to waste 30 to 45 minutes on a calendar slot for someone that's not going to show up. And then they're going to spend the next hour twiddling their thumbs because they don't know what to do with their day. They don't have enough leads to talk to. That's why text triaging is going to be way different for the relationship you're going to build with your leads. In an iMessage funnel, the qualification is going to happen inside the conversation itself. And it doesn't feel like an application. It feels like you're talking to a person who's asking genuine questions. After the leads responds and watches the VSL, this is where the work starts with your rep to ask questions. What's your business? How do you use SMS right now? How are you looking to use iMessage? What does your current process look like? What does your current funnel look like? What are your current response rates? The lead gets to respond naturally in their own words instead of in a drop-down or multiple choice field. And in that conversation, you get to learn more about that lead than you ever could in an application. You also get to learn things that their application would never capture, like their tone if they're sending you voice messages, or their urgency depending on how fast they're responding to you. You can read all of that in a text conversation, much harder to read in a form submission. This books you more qualified appointments because you get to bring more people through your funnel, because the steps make more sense. And those people that do come through your funnel are going to show up at a much higher rate. They need to respect the real person that helped them book the call. Your sales team is not going to be talking to unqualified leads who lied on a form. They're going to be talking to people that have been triaged, that have shown they're a real person, that have made a commitment to showing up. Leads who would have originally bounced on a self-service application that they fill out on their own are now making it all the way through the process because the bites got a little bit smaller in the funnel that they had to take. The steps they had to take were a little bit smaller, but over time, you cover more ground with these leads. It feels much more natural for what's happening in today's day and age. And because it's iMessage, you're going to get way more people to respond, and you're going to lose way less leads to the friction that a normal application would provide in your funnel. So your speed to lead gets better, your booking rate gets better, your show rate gets better. That's the thing about text triaging with speed to lead that makes it that much more powerful. It's really fast. Whether you're texting or calling, you can automate your iMessages with Sendblue to hit your lead the same time every single time. It's consistent, it's predictable. You can get good data that you can build off of to then make better decisions for your business. The faster you get someone into a conversation, the higher booking rate, and that's not an opinion, that is fact. You already know that. Once your lead opts into their funnel with Sendblue, they're holding their phone right now. They get hit with that iMessage within seconds. They're still thinking about your ad. They're still thinking about you. They might still be looking at you. You're already triaging a conversation before they've even left the app that they're on, Meta, right now. No A2P registration, no carrier approval queue. And also with iMessage and Sendblue, or whether you're using your personal phone to make this happen, your calls can show up as FaceTime audio calls. And FaceTime audio calls with the iOS 26 update will bypass the AI call screener, and they'll never show up as spam likely. That is huge for connection rate on phone calls. Trust and friction is why your show rate is going to be 80% plus. This is going to be the part that ties it all together. Because you can have the best response rates in the world or the best application questions and triaging in the world, but if the lead doesn't trust you enough to take time out of their day to show up to your appointment, they're not going to show up. It's not important enough to them. This friction is a good thing for your funnel. So you can spend more time with the leads that you actually want to spend time with, less times with the leads that you don't want to talk to. This lead did not just opt in and click a button. They had a full conversation with you to then end up watching a video just like this. Their level of commitment is much deeper. And getting an on-platform opt-in is much easier than getting an off-platform opt-in. Meta is going to give that to you for cheaper. Every one of these steps is a micro-commitment, and every micro-commitment that this person takes gets them more invested. By the time they book, they've put a lot more skin in the game, which is fundamentally different than your standard VSL funnel. In a VSL funnel, that trust building moment is gonna just be the video. They watch a video from someone that they've never met, from someone that they've never talked to, from someone that they can't even get in touch with. There was no friction, there was no conversation, there was no human on the other end. And when the day of the call comes, they no-show because there was nothing personally tying them to that call. You didn't build a relationship, you just had subpar attempt at a transaction. And the show rate on that from cold traffic is about 50%. That's the normal VSL funnel, and most people accept it. I found myself with these same problems inside of Sendblue. This is how I know the iMessage funnel is that much better. An iMessage funnel and that technology just builds trust in a way that a landing page could never do. And it's because it's a conversation, and humans, they bring more trust through conversations than a landing page could. Think about what happens from the lead's perspective. They opt in, within seconds, they get a text that looks like it came from a real person, not a marketing email, not a green reply stop to opt out message, a blue iMessage in the same inbox where their friends and family also are. They respond, a conversation starts, They watch a video that was sent to them personally. They ask a question, they get a real response. They ask another question, they get another real response. Maybe they hear a voice note, someone's actual voice. By the time they book a call, they already feel like they've built a relationship with your brand. And that's so fundamentally different than someone opting in, clicking a button, and watching a video. Trust is why they show up, and friction is why they are ready. When someone feels like they had a real relationship built with a real person, they're going to be far more likely to show up to an appointment, because it's not just a calendar slot anymore. It's a conversation that they're continuing. It's a person they already talked to. People no-show pages. People no-show automated emails. People do not no-show conversations. It takes two to have a conversation. And the friction that you put in this funnel compounds that trust. Just think about everything this lead went through to get a time on your calendar. They responded to a text, they answered questions, they watched your video, they listened to your voice messages. Each step is a small commitment, and each commitment builds investment for them. By the time they book, they're not just casually throwing their name on a calendar to see what happens anymore. They made the decision through a real process, a process that compounded over time. That's why people show up at 80%. And the confirmation and the reminder sequence compounds it further. Booking confirmations through iMessage with videos or voice messages, another iMessage with a link to their Zoom call, a voice message that day checking in. Hey, are we still good for our time at whatever time the call is? That's a real person making a real effort to build a real relationship, to spend real time together on an appointment. Of course they're going to show up. Remember, standard VSL funnel, cold traffic, about a 50% show up rate. iMessage funnel, cold traffic, about an 80% show up rate. The difference is the channel and the conversation that's taking place between the opt-in and between the appointment being booked. If you're booking 20 calls a week and 10 show up, that's your 50% show up rate. An 80% show up rate will get you 16 calls, 6 more opportunities. And the leads who show up from an iMessage funnel are warmer, they're more committed, they're more engaged. They already feel like they know you before they show up. Your rep isn't starting from scratch with this relationship. They're starting from a place where a lead's been in a real conversation, qualified through text messages, a lead that feels like they have a personal connection with your brand. That's a different kind of call that can close at a different rate because of that trust. Response rates get them into conversations, text triaging gets them in the right direction with the right people, and that trust and friction gets them ready to buy when they show. Let's talk about the build and what you need to run an iMessage funnel. 2 things. Number 1, on-platform lead form. Those are really easy to set up and super basic. TikTok lead form, Facebook lead form, Meta lead form, name, email, phone number, maybe a couple questions. That's going to be your entry point for your leads. And number 2 is you need an iPhone. You can use the one in your pocket if you want to do everything manually, or you can use a tool like Sendblue to automate through workflows the same way every single time. You can even do it right from your CRM. You can have reporting, accountability, and scale it way further beyond what you can do manually. That's where Sendblue comes in. We integrate with all the major CRMs like Go High Level, HubSpot, Salesforce, Close CRM, Follow Up Boss, Zapier, Make.com. Lead comes into your funnel, they hit a Sendblue workflow, they get a text in seconds every single time. You can set this motion up in about 5 minutes with the Sendblue Workflow Builder, entirely built with iMessage inside of our platform. Remember, your VSL is going to stay the same. This is a VSL. It's the same pitch. It's the same content. It's just way different delivery. And our team's going to help you build that entire workflow with you. We'll help you write the copy. We'll help you set up the automations. We'll get you in a Slack channel with dedicated support. This isn't going to be some tool that you log into and figure out on your own. This is a partnership that we're building together to make you your iMessage funnel. You also get the dashboard, the analytics. If you want the FaceTime audio power dialing, you can get that for 50% higher pickup rates. Branded calling or contact cards. You want to build with our API? We got you covered there too. So here's what to do next. I've given you everything you need to implement this on your own. You can go build this funnel with the traffic that you have right now, with your landing pages, with that form. You can pull your iPhone out of your pocket and you can send people text messages. I promise if you do it manually, you're gonna talk to way more people than you're talking to right now. So be ready to talk to those people and have the resources to reply to those leads. But if you want to do it predictably, you want to do it at scale, you want to have relentless execution with the organization and the speed at which you can do it, hit us up at Sendblue. There should be a link somewhere around this video to book a call with me or someone on my team so we can show you what an iMessage funnel is going to look like for your business. Or if you're already in our funnel right now and we're texting each other, just ask us for a link. We'll text you the link to our calendar right there. Or you can head on over to www.sendblue.com, hit the request a demo button, give us your name, email, phone number, answer a couple questions. You'll find our calendar slots available on there. Hope you're having fun inside of our iMessage funnel. Let's build one for you.